Hey guys, we're going to do our name mandala. So by the time we're done with this drawing, it'll look like hidden, okay? So first thing is, on your triangles, your square that's cut in half, you're going to rotate it so that you have a point at the top and that the shape is like a diamond. Now what I'm doing here is trying to divide up my letters evenly. So I'm going to use Yancey, and I have 6 letters. So I'm going to do 3 letters on the top part of the diamond, or to the left of the diamond, and 3 on the right. And so now I'm going to draw my letters. What I want you to remember is that your letters should touch the top and the bottom of your triangle. So you'll be leaving parts of your letters open at the top and open at the bottom. So notice how my A, one side of it is shorter than the other. It's because of how the triangle is shaped. Then I'm going to just continue drawing my letters, okay? Okay, so what I want you to notice on the C, it is a curved letter, but I want you to notice how the bottom curve kind of runs into that bottom edge, and so does the top curve. If you have curvy letters, this is what they're going to look like, and I'll happily show you individually, one-on-one, of what it should look like on your page. So I'm just going to continue drawing my letters, and then I'll show you what it looks like when we're done, and then we're going to go and add some more details to it. Okay, so I've got like my basic letters down. Well, now I want to start adding in some shapes that are going to kind of hide my letters themselves. Okay, so the first thing I did was just in one of the openings created by my N, I drew in a little triangle. And then I'm going to start kind of adding in stuff from there. So again, when I'm done, my letters will almost appear hidden in our final drawing and painting. So I'm going to just continue doing that. In just a minute or so, you'll see me grab a mirror, and that's going to help me kind of see what the triangle will look like in the reflection, which we'll have to do. Okay, so I'm just going to keep adding in some shapes and adding in some different designs to get it to where I want it to be. So with the mirror, I was just trying to see what that shape would look like on the other side of that reflective line. Okay, it's just a good way to kind of check what you're doing to make sure you actually like your drawing and you actually like your design. It was a little hard to get it on the camera. Mirrors will be back underneath the screen for you guys to check with this. As you guys add your shapes in, just be mindful that you're going to be painting inside of them. So you don't really want to add any shapes that are maybe smaller than like the size of a penny, okay? Because you want to be able to keep your paint application very nice and neat. And if we get a little too small, sometimes it's hard for us to keep our paint nice, neat, and smooth, which will be something that you're graded on. So that's why we want to make sure we pay attention to it. Okay, so I have my name drawn in pencil. I've got my extra shapes drawn. And then now I'm going to trace over. I'm going to trace over what I've done in Sharpie. Okay. And the reason we do this is because we're going to need to be able to see through our paper to the back for our next step. Okay, so we have traced over everything in our Sharpie. Now we need one of our ebony pencils. Now we're going to trace over again what we just did with Sharpie, but with our ebony pencil. We're going to be doing what's called a graphite transfer, and this is going to help us do it. I want you to notice as I trace over my letters, I am applying a good bit of pressure because I want a lot of graphite onto my paper, and I'm also kind of going back and forth on my lines. So I'm going to trace over all of my pencil lines that I just went over with in Sharpie. So it's like a layer. It goes pencil, Sharpie, ebony pencil. And I'm going to do that for all of my letters. Okay, so we just went over it all with ebony pencil. Now you're going to fold it in half just like I'm doing in the video. Notice how we can see our Sharpie marks through our paper. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do the transfer itself. So we're going to take our Sharpie and we're going to trace over all of our Sharpie marks that we can see through. And if you open your triangle at any time, you will see a very faint little ghost outline of your drawing on the other side, on the empty side. Okay, so that's what I'm doing right now is I'm checking. You can see it, it's very light. It's meant to be very light, but you can see through and you can see where your letters are. So I'm going to do that really quick and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so we see a ghost impression of our name. It's like a reflection of the other one. It is symmetrical. So now what we're going to do is we're going to trace over our ghost impression with our Sharpie. Okay. Now I want you to notice when I get to my letters. Okay, so I do my little triangle first, and then I want you to notice when I get to my letters that where they meet on that center line, I automatically connect them together. So notice there's no gap in between where the bottom of the two Y's come together. Okay, and I want you to notice the same thing with my E. So it looks like one continuous shape that I've created. Okay, anything that meets on that center line, again, I want you to join it together so it looks like one continuous shape. Okay, so on here you can see um, where my letters all join together. This is what yours should look like prior to adding paint to it. Okay, I'll show you the next steps in the next video.